Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining our 2024 Radiology Marketing Plan for Accelerated Growth workshop. Today, I have Otelia joining us. She's going to be presenting today that plan from start to finish and giving you all the tips and tricks that you need to build that successful plan. My name is John Campbell. You can find me on LinkedIn as the manager of the Radiology Marketing LinkedIn group. Last year, we started a series of workshops where we want to share what works and what doesn't work in radiology marketing. And I would like to welcome everyone to our first workshop of 2024. We'll be recording this session, so for those of you who would like to listen to it after, or you'd like to share it with somebody else who needs to hear this, the recording will be available and you will get the replay link. I'm excited to welcome Otelia Kamsa to the first webinar this year. She's been deeply involved in the industry, working with diagnostic imaging centers, interventional radiology practices, and pain clinics, and she understands the complexities faced by radiology businesses in this ever-changing digital space when trying to grow and scale. Otelia, thank you again for being here.
Thank you very much, John. It's always fun to be here, and I'm excited to share some strategies. At the beginning of the year, it's always great to be thinking about your annual marketing plan, because that's when you have a lot of energy and a lot of creativity. But also, I'll be offering some resources to support those that are interested at the end of the presentation. Also, I'd like to invite our participants to ask questions. Feel free to reach out, as I'm always happy to hear any thoughts and ideas. We do this annual marketing plan exercise at the beginning of each year, and you might be asking why it matters. From our experience, I think that the main thing to point out is that it's not uncommon for practice owners or marketers to let potential net profit slip through their fingers every month. This is easily overlooked because their focus is primarily on excellent patient experience, on providing the best patient care they can, and not on marketing. And as marketing professionals, we understand that. However, in order for patients that are nowadays on their screen, in order for them to be able to find you and to benefit of your services, they need to know, like, and trust you. So I do speak from experience. I've been a digital marketer for years now. I've been an entrepreneur for years. My first online project was setting up a website with SEO traffic. That website reached 2 million annual visitors, and I had a business exit from that initial project. And afterwards, I started to consult with businesses that were looking to grow their presence online. They were looking to get more business. They were looking to scale. They were looking to attract more traffic and potential revenue. And one of the first projects that I consulted with was the acquisition of an imaging center with a very aggressive plan to grow it to a network of 10 clinics. And in that initial project, I realized how much radiology space needs professional marketing and needs an integrated marketing approach, because what we faced was a clinic that was very successful. They were highly competent from a medical perspective, but they were missing their online footprint. So that excellent patient care that they were providing day to day was not reflected in their online presence. Their reputation actually was suffering because they had some random negative reviews from the internet. They had doctors getting involved with spammy reviewers. And actually, in that acquisition process, their brand was not valued, was taken apart, and they didn't receive any value from their brand, from their website, from their organic traffic, and so on. And this was a tipping point when I decided that it's so important for this radiology space to have dedicated marketing expertise, because nowadays you need to also be mindful of your online presence as much as you care about your patient experience in order to have a successful business and look forward to a possible exit or a possible scaling of your business. So the reason why we put in place this radiology marketing system is basically to help practice owners be more conscious of what they can do differently in the new year in 2024 in order to achieve their most ambitious goals.
Okay, everyone. So here is the plan for today's session. We want to set clear goals for the year. And I'm sure you set revenue targets, but I'm talking about marketing targets. How much traffic's on your website, how many leads for genicular artery embolization, uterine fibroid embolization, prostate artery embolization, or MRI. Where the leads and appointments are going to come from, whether they're referrals, calls, or forms, and what's the budget and how it's aligned with the KPIs. Then we're going to map a plan, because they say a goal without a plan is just a dream. We'll cover what's happening in online marketing, what channels have changed, what channels are available to you, and this way you can build a plan based on the key things to execute to achieve your goals. Ultimately, our goal is to help you check the boxes of an integrated marketing plan so that at the end of 2024, you can say you've met and achieved your targets.
Right. So I think a very good discussion to have at the beginning of the year is about marketing and profitability. Because when I ask practice owners what they need to be more successful, I think 9 out of 10 times, the answer is that they need more appointments, more patients, followed obviously in 2023 by the recruitment crisis. But I think that the environment has changed, and now we need a new model of marketing and of positioning radiology, because it used to be that a doctor prescribed the radiology procedure to a patient and oftentimes told them where to have it done, and the patient would have the procedure and call it a day. But nowadays things have changed, and patients have Dr. Google at their fingertips, as we all know. So if we consider the latest statistics, 68% of patients go online to gather health-related information before seeing their doctor. And 94% of patients say that online reviews are really important when selecting a healthcare provider. So we mapped out here, based on the Blue Ocean strategy that probably everyone is familiar with, the new model versus the old model in radiology, where basically you need to look at how you would like to be positioned if your practice was the absolute local authority and the potential this has for your business. So looking at this slide, in the old model, radiology businesses were heavily reliant on a single referral source, let's say, which came with limited opportunity. And we can still see today in some of the websites and the communication that the communication was one-off, and that narrows it from the perspective of positioning and encourages commoditization. And there's a lack of differentiating points for any practice. But I think the new model and the things that we are trying to raise with our marketing is to make sure that the practice is unique, is differentiated on the market, that the different subspecialties, the technology, the affiliations are clearly visible on the website, and they help building trust with the referring physicians and the potential patients. We featured the team and the brand values, and that helps practices also to recruit. So not only in their positioning versus patients, but it also helps attract talent that has the same values. And obviously, we're moving towards a model where the evaluation is more objective, is from the voice of the patient, and from the reputation score that the patient actually gives through their daily reviews. And our objective for the radiology practice in their area is basically to become the authority, the best position for their specialty. And we do this through ongoing education and continuous SEO, and through building the online reputation. So I want you to take some time and think what it would mean for your practice if you were positioned as the absolute local authority for the imaging or radiology services that you provide. We've had this year clients expanding their number of locations and scaling. We've had clients being acquired. We've also have radiology clients that partnered and integrated other specialties like cardiology and diagnostic imaging and pain management. So I think at the beginning of the year is a good time thinking about the future and what it can mean for the business and for you personally, and what exactly is the marketing budget that you are going to reinvest into the business. So once you have this picture clear, you can then share it with your team and bring everyone on board. And now we can also get practical and tactical. So moving on, I would like to introduce the accelerated growth model for radiology, which we call the trust building system with potential patients and referring physicians. This model outlines our roadmap to help clients fully maximize their online presence with the main tools that help a radiology business. And when we look at priorities, I think it's clear for everyone that the online reputation is crucial in healthcare. Actually, healthcare is second only to hotels and restaurants as the industry with the most read online reviews. And to be even considered on the shopping list of potential partners or referring physicians and patients, the overall review score should be at least 4.7 out of 5. Actually, the average review score in Google is 4.3. However, from our experience, the problem is that too many radiology clinics do not manage their online reputation, and they expect that creating a positive patient experience is enough to gain positive reviews and attract new clients for the clinic. But unfortunately, that's not how it works in real life. And besides the reputation, the trust reputation, the other assets that are crucial for any radiology practice are primarily their website and the SEO presence. And I think that's the main focus for any radiology practice that is planning to have a long-term strategy. The website is where your visitors can convert to calls, to appointments, where they can see what makes you unique as a practice. And it's where we will see later in the presentation. Nowadays, in 2024, one of the main trends is that you can actually engage with your patients before they come into your clinic. So your website is actually your main business card and your main point of entry for your visitors. And speaking about SEO, in general, People search for what you do and not who you are. The opportunity in SEO is basically to show up on the first page of Google for your service related keywords. And if you're not showing up for your main keywords, you are missing on a major opportunity. I invite you to consider just one example that I picked up for today. For instance, mammogram near me is one of the keywords that is very relevant, obviously, because it's very shows a very high intention to convert. Someone who's looking for mammogram in their area is already prepared to make an appointment. So mammogram near me is a keyword with around 28,000 searches per month. And if you're not ranking for this keyword and you offer this service in your area, you are missing out on a major opportunity. Actually, mammogram is one of the trends that we will see in 2024 evolving because a new study published in the Journal of the American College of Radiology showed that especially younger patients are scheduling more and more their screening mammograms through online portals. And the percentage of patients that prefers to schedule online grew from 3.7 in 2015 to 37% in 2022. So as this trend continues well into 2024, radiology practices can tap into this demand and provide the patients with the convenience of self-scheduling services. And so your practice can attract and retain more patients, while at the same time, let's not forget, you get to streamline your administrative processes so that you can have your reception or call center staff just calling the already made appointments in the calendar just to confirm. The third pillar of the online strategy is conversion. So making sure that the traffic that you attract from organic search and from paid search and from referring physicians, making sure that it converts into booked appointments. And this is done by streamlining and automating patient communication that will help reduce no-shows and the poor preparation before the exam and reduce the anxiety that's linked to these procedures. As we all know, up to 80% of the patients that are using imaging services or interventional radiology services, they deal with chronic conditions. So any support that we can give in terms of how to prepare for the exam beforehand, what to expect, the duration, how they can resume their normal activity after having the procedure. Any of this information that we can provide beforehand helps also having a great patient experience.
Thanks, Otelia. As you may know, successful marketing in healthcare starts with understanding your audience well, tailoring strategies according to their needs, the personas. For vein treatment, the majority of people who develop varicose veins are between 40 and 80. Women are more likely than men to develop varicose veins. For prostate artery embolizations, the symptoms are present in about 1 in 4 men by age 55 and in half of men at 75 years old. For uterine fibroid embolization, studies show that up to 70% of women in the U.S. have or will develop fibroids by age 50. However, that percentage increases to over 80% in African American women. Can you imagine a website where a single homepage with all services is not the most effective way to market? Where you're not marketing to your persona with SEO and paid advertisement?
Yeah, so understanding the target market is really, really important. And what we see in practice is that a lot of radiology businesses just have one landing page where they list everything. the equipment, the competence, and all the services that they offer. And if you look at our slide, you will understand that basically you cannot talk in the same way for each service to the same people. So when you're speaking to a different persona, you need to understand their concerns, their anxieties, what they are looking for in a provider. So that's why it's really, really important to understand and to be present where your patients are looking for, let's say, imaging options or minimally invasive treatment options for their conditions. So we listed here an example for genicular artery embolization, just to give an overview of how patients are actually doing their research online. So we listed 3 possible stages: from uneducated research, where people are looking for how to get rid of knee pain fast. And this is where you want to be present with what we call top of funnel content. So make sure that you have this information on your website in the blog area, for instance, so that when people are researching their symptoms, they learn about your brand. This brings immediate brand awareness. Once they learn that your clinic has information about this condition and the solution to solve it. The second stage in their research process is uneducated research. So people already received the diagnostic and they are now researching the treatment options. How long does genicular artery embolization last, for instance? The side effects, and so on. And again, this is middle of the funnel content, and you want to be present there in order to increase your brand awareness with a patient that do not yet know your brand. They don't know your doctors, but they have the condition. So this is what we call pre-qualified traffic. And the latest stage in the decision process is the decision research. So people have already made the decision. They know that they will make the appointment, and they are now looking to compare options. And when they search for a term like genicular artery embolization cost or doctors who perform genicular artery embolization near me, you definitely want to be present there, because they are looking at and considering various providers and making sure that they select the best solution for them. And I'm sharing here a screenshot with a case study from one of our clients in San Francisco. As you can see here, for one of their imaging services for the search query near me, there are 3 areas where you can rank organically in Google. The first one is the ads section and is marked with the first red arrow. And about 15 to 20% of clicks are going into the paid section. And then you have the map section, where obviously you want to have a stellar patient review score in order to rank in the top 3 position. Our client actually ranks on the first position here, and this part of the page attracts around 30 to 40% of the clicks. And then you have the organic listing right here at the bottom, and you see that actually this is the first organic position, although it's mid-page by now. And this position, if you are in the top, actually, if you are on the first place in organic, you can attract about 25% of the clicks that are going to the organic listings. Track this growth month to month, and you can track your conversions. So the number of website calls, the number of forms sent that are transformed into booked appointments. And over here we have a visual with a local ranking before and after. So before optimization, if you were looking for imaging center in Mountain View, California, our client was ranking on the 5th position on average. This tool that we're using, this tracking tool, actually maps the ranking position every 2.5 kilometers from your clinic. So the clinic is right here in the middle, and you can see in your area, in your city, at a 2.5 kilometer distance, we have these checking points, and you can see how your clinic ranks when people in your area are looking for the services that you provide. And you can see after the optimization, the clinic has started to rank in the top 3 positions. Actually, the majority of the rankings are a number 1 position for the keywords they targeted.
And as you may have gathered by now, patient reviews are very important. A score of 4.7 out of 255 reviews is more valuable than a perfect score of 5 out of 3 reviews. The 5 KPIs of a great review are a minimum of 30 to 40 reviews, ideally over 100, having more reviews than the competition, recent reviews no more than 2 weeks old, a minimum of 4.3 plus stars on the Google My Business listing, and on Ambition 4.7, and each review being addressed with a personalized response.
And what I would like to suggest also, John, is be smart when you answer your reviews. Make sure that you stuff your answer with as many keywords as possible. So, and also make sure that you provide very useful information. So when someone says great service or everything with my appointment ran smoothly, you can say something to the effect, "Thank you, Jessie, for your kind review. Knowing that you had a great experience makes us very happy, and we are open 9 to 5 for open MRI services. So make sure that you stuff as many keywords for your relevant services when you answer the reviews. And also, one thing that I found out is that also people shy away from answering their negative reviews, but actually negative reviews are not that bad. So it's just a chance, if they are real and if you cannot remove them, obviously you need a process in place to make sure that the review is not spammy. If it's spammy, then you need to work with Google to have it removed. If the negative review is in fact something that you can correct internally, make sure that you take the steps, make the situation right with the patient, and then after you've corrected the situation, reach out to them and ask them if they would possibly change their review score. But if at the end of trying all of these things you are still stuck with a negative review, the solution is to address it with an answer. And that answer should, first of all, not include any of your keywords. It shouldn't say anything about the types of services that you offer. It shouldn't say the name of the doctors. It shouldn't say your address or the name of your clinic. But that response should be a generic, we are sorry to hear that you had a less than perfect experience today, and we will work to rectify that situation, or a representative of our customer services will be in touch. And that's it. No more, no less. Just a line to show that you care, that you are present. And just know that when people read reviews, they also read the negative reviews, and it helps them show what their worst case scenario should be. So it helps them put into perspective, if this happened, will I still like to work with this provider? And when you provide an answer that's from a human and not from a machine, it helps them actually form a connection with you and trust you even more, even though you had a negative review.
And they see your customer service in real time because of that.
Yeah, exactly. That's true. And I'm sharing here a very nice and spectacular example. Actually, that this came to me from a screenshot that the CEO took on his phone. At the moment when they reached 500 positive Google reviews, you can see here, I'm not sure that it's visible, but it's actually a score of 4.9 out of 500 Google reviews. And that's for a client that was a new entrant on the market, and they were challenging an established player that had been on the market for 15 years. In 8 months, we managed to establish the reputation and the positioning of this clinic to become the online leader in that space for diagnostic imaging services. And this is why a player that has a strategy, that has the discipline to execute every day, because these reviews, let me tell you, they were coming in every day, versus a player that was on the market for 15 years but didn't have any strategy and was not asking for reviews. At the end of a 8 months period, the challenger had more reviews than the established brand. And it shows you actually the power of a good solid marketing strategy. Nowadays, I'm very excited that new technologies are showing up, and it's really, really exciting for us as marketers to benefit of the new technologies. And I think some of you might have heard of the NFC technology, which is basically simplifies the whole review asking process. So nowadays, with this technology, you can actually put in your reception area, you can put a simple display with your information coded with the right information from your Google My Business profile, and the patients just need to tap their phones in order to be taken to a screen with your profile. And as you can see, it takes just one swipe with a finger, so less than 1 minute, for them to give you a positive review. And this technology, in combination with the right training of your staff, in combination with a right review management process, can actually get you spectacular results. And what I want to make very clear, and why I think it's really, really important that you have a strategy that is designed specifically for radiology. You cannot ask for reviews in radiology in the same way that people ask for reviews for their Airbnb or their restaurants. We have to acknowledge the fact that the traffic, the people that are coming to the clinic, sometimes are going through a tough period. If 80%, about 80% of them are dealing with chronic conditions, you have to have this this respect, and not everyone is always on their best day. So I think it's really important that you train the staff, and we run a training process where we actually train everyone that is in the front line with the patient. When is the right time to ask for a review? How to identify that is the right context where you are asking for a review. And that's why I also don't believe in automation for radiology reputation management. And I know that there are solutions out there on the market that execute automated SMSs sent to everyone in the database asking for a review. But healthcare and radiology in particular is much more sensitive than automated your review asking process. So what we recommend is actually a 3-step process. The first step is a very in-depth training with the team, explaining exactly how patient reviews work and explaining exactly when it's the right time to ask for review. So a very important pillar is having a constant lead generation process for your radiology practice. Lead generation means that you are able to attract pre-qualified visitors and pre-qualified appointments into your clinic every single day without relying only on referrals. And in order to have a successful lead generation process, I think it's important to recognize that social media is a necessary evil. I know that a lot of practices simply do not want to be present on social media. But for some types of services, not for all of them, but for instance, for interventional radiology, where you have these minimally invasive procedures that are the solution and the alternative to more invasive treatment options, you have the option to promote through what we call interruption marketing. So you can meet patients where they are on Meta or Insta and actually attract them into your space. They are there, they have the symptoms, and they don't know that the minimally invasive solution exists. So that's where the lead generation comes on social media. And just for fun, I shared here some examples of what doesn't work. And as we move on, I will share also what works in 2024 in lead generation from social media.
Sure. So in lead generation, what doesn't work? For more than 17 years, we provided quality healthcare services to thousands of patients from all over the world. Our high success rate in testing, screening, diagnosing, managing, and treating vascular conditions speaks for itself. Over time, past clients have come to appreciate our services and thank our specialists for unrivaled services. Here are a few testimonials from our past clients, right? And so then you show a picture, it's a stock photo, and the problem is that, you know, this text, it's a wall of text, it doesn't cut to the chase, and then the picture, by trying to appeal to everybody, you don't appeal to anybody. And so the stock photos don't really tell you much. People don't identify with it, and that's part of the problem. If you don't capture people's attention, how are you supposed to capture their business, right? And so, and there's another write-up. The cost of living has gone up in the last few years. This means most people's budget is greatly strained, and many can't afford quality healthcare services. However, at Washington Vascular Specialists, we recognize that nothing should come between you and proper vascular treatment. At Washington Vascular Specialists, we have partnered with countless local and regional insurance service providers. And then, you know, the cover for insurance is a calculator and doesn't connect with even a human entity at that point. So those are just some examples of copy and content that will not connect with your target demographics.
Yeah, exactly, John. And when I speak to practice owners, they tell me, we've tried Facebook or Instagram in the past and it didn't work. But when you go through your patient persona profile and when you have this exercise, now you understand why generic copywriting doesn't work and generic stock photos don't work, because simply don't know, people don't know what vascular treatments are, but they do know if they have certain symptoms and conditions. So this is an example of what works in 2024 and beyond. And what we have here is a screenshot of a quiz funnel that we are running on Facebook, a quiz funnel for a minimally invasive interventional radiology procedure. At the end of the funnel, as you can see here, we are asking the patient, the potential patient, to give us their first name and their last name, their email address, their phone number. So then we have a lead that has been pre-qualified through a quiz where they went through and they filled the information themselves. And we tell them that we will send them a copy of their result on their email, and they can connect, and obviously someone from the business will get in touch with them. So what works in 2024 for lead generation are the quiz funnels. These help us capture leads, collect data, and book appointments. And of course, we can discuss about the profile of the lead and the quality of the lead. And there are differences, obviously, from the leads that are referred by a professional versus the leads that are coming from online, and versus the leads that are coming from social media. Obviously, you will have a patient profile that is probably less disciplined, so they will not always show up. So you have certain automations that you need to put in place in order to make sure that the leads that are coming from online know exactly when their appointment is, when they need to show up, they get reminders and so on. So there's a lot of automation work and information to be shared in order to get the lead to the appointment. Another thing that we see working in 2024 and beyond is, again, leveraging the informational content, answering their frequently asked questions, and addressing their anxieties and their fears. And the last thing that I will cover is the AI-powered patient engagement trend that we see in 2024. Probably some of you already are familiar with the artificial intelligence powered chatbots that can engage with patients 24/7. They never go to sleep, they never get tired, and you can actually train them. And we do this. You can actually train them on your procedures. You can actually train them on the content, the whole content of your services, your website, the procedures, in the same way that you would train the people in the reception and the people in the call center. You can train the artificial intelligence powered chatbot, and they can capture leads for you online. And I will just share an example here of a leads generation funnel so that everyone has a visual of what that can look like for their business. So this is a funnel that promotes an entry-level offer, for instance, a free vein assessment, or a booking for a fibroid embolization procedure, and it helps nurture the relationship with the lead until they book the appointment. And I will jump off and just share this quiz with you. Just a second. So as you can see here on my screen, a person that clicked an ad on Facebook or Instagram that is the right demographic for the procedure, they have the symptoms, and they opted to go through a self-assessment. Are you a candidate for fibroid embolization? Answer the following questions to see if you may be a candidate for this minimally invasive procedure. And there's a series of symptoms here, and you can click on a symptom or several symptoms and you move forward. And the next question is, have you been diagnosed with uterine fibroids? As 50 to 70% of women will be diagnosed with this condition at some point in their life. And let's say no or yes, it doesn't matter. Have you gone through menopause? No. Are you pregnant? No. Are you planning to get pregnant in the future? No. How can we help? And you give here the options. I would like to schedule a consultation, I have a question, or I would just like to see my results. And let's click on I would like to schedule a consultation. And the quiz takes you to the insurance question. Do you have health insurance? And you can say whatever. Let's just say that no, we don't have. And this is the page with your result. It says your result is ready. Uterine fibroid embolization is covered by most major insurances. If you're interested, here's how you can apply. And it gives you the options. Next steps. If you obtain insurance and are still interested in exploring uterine fibroid embolization, please reach back to us. And you can either call the representative or just get the results, email my results. So that's one quiz that will pre-qualify your leads, and then you can have your reception staff or your call center staff call these leads in the morning and book the appointment. Another way to generate leads from online is to make sure that you answer frequently asked questions about your services and leverage the information that you can provide. For instance, looking at Google frequently asked questions will give you some great insights about the type of content that you need to create for your blog. So, like, what's the best treatment for spider veins? Can you make spider veins go away? How do you fix damaged veins in legs? These are the types of questions where your blog could come in handy in order to make sure that you rank for long tail search keywords for the services that you provide. And any integrated radiology marketing plan obviously needs to target both referring physicians as well as patients. And for referring physicians, one of the best way to stay in touch is to tailor your communication and to make sure that you don't communicate with your physicians just when there's a crisis or when you set up the relationship. Make sure that you have a continuous open line of communication with them. And also, one very helpful aspect is to make sure that you provide them with a very easy, streamlined referral process online in order to limit the number of errors, limit the paperwork, and speed up the referral process. By implementing HIPAA compliant referral forms, you can actually simplify the referral process and become a preferred provider for your referring physicians. We're coming to the end of our presentation. I would like to thank everyone for taking the time to be with us today. It was a long presentation, but I feel like we covered everything that we set out to do. We set the foundation for you to have a plan of action for 2024 that is linked to your business objectives, be it to scale, to grow, to integrate new services into your practice. And we covered the main channels that are available to any radiology practice in 2024. We covered SEO. We said how important Google My Business rankings are for your practice, your online reputation, why paid ads should be definitely part of your marketing mix, but making sure that you speak and you target the right persona for your services and you speak their language when they are searching for their symptoms. We also cover new technologies like artificial intelligence, powering chatbots that can be trained with your specific procedures and your specific services, and the NFC technology that's actually streamlining the review process for patients. I think we took some time also to show what's not working today, if it ever worked, but being generic. So just thinking that any marketing is good marketing, it's not working for radiology practices. Using stock photos, using generic copywriting that doesn't speak to your persona is not working in 2024 and can actually, if done wrong by cookie cutter providers that don't understand the specifics of the radiology space, can actually result in wasted marketing budget. So I think this exercise hopefully was useful for you to create a plan in 2024. And I hope that this will set you up for success in 2024 and beyond. Thank you very much for your time. And if you have any questions, or if you'd like to plan a complimentary online marketing review with us, just go to www.radiology.marketing/schedule strategy meeting, or just go to our homepage, and you can download there our free marketing guide. And you can also book an appointment that's complimentary, again, where we take a look at your marketing plan and we give you some actionable insights and low-hanging fruits that will help you for the year. Again, thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody.